Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Faith and I'm back with part 2 of my story time on getting back on the dating scene. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome to the family. And if you haven't already watched part 1 of my story time, you might want to start with that just so that the story makes sense. So I'm gonna put the link up for you right up here so that you guys have easier access to part 1 of this story. But yeah, I just want to start this video off by saying thank you so much guys for the overwhelming positive feedback on part 1 of this story. I really appreciate it. A number of you complained in the comments and even in direct messages about how I ended part 1 of the video. I apologize guys, but I promise I will end the story now. So what keeps you guys coming back? So yeah, but I promise I'm ending the story in this video. So make sure to watch the entire video. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give a thumbs up for this video. And yeah, feel free to comment. I love reading you guys' comments, so I'll definitely be looking forward to that. Feel free to comment. Please share. I really appreciate that. But yeah, thank you once again. Let's get into this video. Okay guys, so quick recap from where I ended part 1. So Sunday I go to the salon, I get back around 6 p.m. Yeah, I'm home. I decide to check my WhatsApp statuses and I see that Musa had posted a status. So I check his status and it's a picture of a girl and the caption says, "Ladies and gentlemen, her," followed by the emoji with the black shades. Aww. So I'm like, like I was very taken aback because I was like, I don't think this is a sister or a cousin or a friend. I mean, it's possible, you know, some people they post their friends like that, but I was like, the chances are higher, I feel. If this is his girlfriend, this man must have a girlfriend, which didn't make sense to me. But with just that post, I said, that caption, this must be his girlfriend. Funny enough, I knew the girl. Like, she's not my friend, but she's one of my best friend's friends. So I said, okay. So I texted my best friend Lubuto. I texted her and I took a screenshot of his status. And so I sent it to her and I texted her, I'm like, Lubuto, isn't this your friend? Let's give her the name Kanaya. I'm like, Lubuto, isn't this your friend Kanaya? And she's like, oh yeah, this is her. Where did you get this? What's up? What's the story? So I text her, I tell her the whole story. And she's like, okay, that's odd and all, like, but I know her, like, she usually would tell me such things, but she hadn't mentioned anything about that. So we talked about that for a bit, and then she told me, she's like, why don't you like ask him or be like, oh yeah, you know her, I also know her. But I was like, no, let me just leave it at that, you know, let me just, it's not that deep. So that's how I left it at that, and I thought, I'll tell you how things go. Left it at that. Sunday, so that was Sunday. Monday, I didn't hear anything from him. Tuesday was my birthday. So I decided for my birthday, like, I was gonna post a thread on my WhatsApp status with like different pictures for over that year, that previous year. And that just talked about like different experiences that I had, my growth points during that year. Yeah, I decided to do that for my birthday. It was my way of celebrating my journey. And so yeah, I posted that thread. And then later that morning, my older sister, the one who got married, she called me. And We're talking, and then I bring it up to her. I tell her everything that has been going on with Musa, and I tell her like, I didn't know that Musa seeing somebody, because I didn't know this whole time this is what's been going on. And so she's shocked. She's like, even like when she had spoken with him prior, she didn't think he was actually going to go ahead with even talking to me, especially because she had told him like, sir, that's my young sister, but he still went ahead. And I told her, I've been talking to Musa from Thursday, the Thursday after your wedding. And she's like, oh, okay. But the times that she had recently talked to Musa, and when she had asked him to say like, oh, are you seeing somebody? He was like, oh no, girls aren't serious, something like that. So she was given the impression Musa is not seeing anybody. But I had mentioned the girl's name to her, and she was like, I did hear him mention a girl, like this, she's studying this and this. And I was like, yeah, it must be Kanaya. So that's how we talked about that. And it was like, oh, okay. So in my mind, I knew like, okay, she's most likely his girlfriend, even if he's not outrightly saying that that's his girlfriend. There's something there. So I'm like, okay, cool. The day goes on. I enjoy my birthday. I spend it with my family. And 7 p.m. I receive a phone call. It's Musa. I say, okay. So I pick up the call. I go to my room. I pick up the call. He's like,
Faith, is it your birthday today?
I'm like, sir, like in my mind, I'm saying, you literally checked all my pictures. You saw what I had posted. It was my birthday, and now you're asking me. But anyway, I'm 30. And I was like, yeah, it was my birthday. He was like,
oh, happy birthday. What did you do for your birthday?
And I told him like, no, I just spent time with my family, and that's all that happened. And so he goes like,
oh, okay.
And then I keep quiet for a bit. Then he goes like,
I'm so sorry for having been quiet. Since Sunday I had a mental breakdown.
So I'm just like, okay. I mean, I'm all for having good mental health. I promise you that. But it's like, I don't know. I just didn't believe him. I really it didn't sit well with me. Maybe because I already had suspected that he was being sketchy. So even when he said that, I was just like, I don't know. And I said, I asked him about it. I said, what's going on? What happened? He was like,
no, just work and whatever. Some stuff happened. I had a mental breakdown, and I like to deal with things on my own
and stuff. So I said, okay, that's unfortunate, but I hope you're doing well. And I asked him like, how are you coping with that? And he was like,
I like to listen to music, I like to go to the gym and stuff.
So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then so now this man goes on, to ask me questions one after the other. And he's like,
so this is what you're studying. I know your sister had told me that you're doing something like with in the line of med.
And I explained to him, I'm like, I'm doing bio pre-med, yada yada yada. I explained how long I have, when I'm graduating, because he asked me those things. When I'm graduating, what I plan to do post-graduation in between undergrad and med, and all that. So I explained that. So he's like,
okay. That's pretty interesting. So how long will that take?
And I explained like, med school take like 4 years, and then I'd have to do like residency and all. He's like,
okay. So do you plan on like working there, or do you plan on coming back home after?
Long story short, he was asking me all these questions back to back, and I was in my mind, I'm like, the way he's asking me questions, it's not like the way a person typically asks you things like as a means of like small talk. He was asking me questions like a person who is trying to align my responses with the plan they already have, if that makes sense. So that's just where my thought process was, even as I was responding to those questions. So, we go on, we're talking. So then I ask him about himself, what he's doing regarding work, what he plans to do to build off of that, whether he still wants to continue working where he's working, what his future plans are anyway. So we talk about that for a bit. Now, I must mention that during this time, the network was tripping. So like we kept trying to like continue the conversation, but it continued to trip. So he had asked me for my Zambian line so that he can call me off of WhatsApp using regular, yeah. But I had explained to him about my whole SIM card scenario. So he was like,
that really sucks. By now we would have gotten to know each other a lot better, would have probably been talking about marriage.
So, I was confused. I said, but on Sunday, was I wrong? So in that moment I said, marriage? Like, I hardly know you and you hardly know me. And he says,
yeah, but that's my point exactly. If we were talking through this other means, would have probably been talking about marriage and all that.
I said, oh Lord. So now I ask him, I say, why are you asking these questions all back to back like this? And he's like,
I just like to make conversation.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Then he switches. He says, but I just want to know, because you can be talking to Faith this whole time only for after years pass, my parents to give him my young sister instead of me.
You can end up in a Rachel and Leah situation.
I said,
hold up. What?
How did we get there? I said, sir. He said that would never happen. First of all, my parents would not do that. I don't know. I just didn't understand how we got there. But I said, no, that would never happen. He's like,
oh, okay. That's good to know.
So at the time that I was talking to him, like this entire time, my phone was connected to the charger. So that's how I told him, like it wasn't charging either way. I don't know what was going on, but yeah. I told him to say, my battery is really low. Let me call you a little later. And he was like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. I forgot to call him back that night. I forgot. But yeah, left my phone charging. I was talking to my mom. I was still spending time with my family. So it slipped my mind in all that, in all honesty. But yeah, that was Tuesday. That was the conversation I had with Musa. So it was on my mind, like, this guy, all these things that he was saying, I thought he has a girlfriend, Like, what happened to Kanaya? I was shocked. So I said, okay. Wednesday came and I said, I think I should ask him, because this whole dynamic is just So Wednesday comes, I'm quiet like during the day. I receive a message from him in the evening. So he's like,
oh, hey Faith, how was your day and stuff? How are you doing?
So I respond and I tell him like, I have a question for you if you don't mind. And he's like,
oh yeah, sure, ask away.
So then I ask him, I say, do you have a girlfriend? And he said,
yes.
I said, yes. But just yesterday. So I was shocked because I would not expect somebody with a, like, you're outrightly saying you have a girlfriend and you're talking to another girl like that?
What the heck?
No, like, would anyway. So yeah, he said yes. And so I told him, I said, the statements that you made yesterday were very misleading for somebody who is in a relationship. And he's like,
oh, what do you mean? What statement?
so I said, you talked about marriage, you talked about the whole Rachel and Leah situation.
He was like, he's like, I love to laugh. The world is too serious to keep a straight face on.
So he's like, I like to make light. I just said, if there's something, one of the things that irritates me is when people try to make light of serious situations, especially when they involve somebody else's feelings. I don't think, I don't know. There's no 100% guarantee, but I know there is a high probability that most girlfriends would not be so excited or would not find it funny that their boyfriend is talking to another girl like that. That's ridiculous. Sir. So I told him, I said, okay, I'm not used to my male friends who are in relationships talking to me like that. It's inappropriate. And he was like,
oh, I see, I respect that.
And I said, yeah, I appreciate that. That was the last time I spoke with Musa. So why exactly did I share this story with you? First and foremost, I appreciate the experience that I had with Musa because it definitely taught me about some of the individuals that I would find in the dating pool and what to look out for. Here's Musa. He's a guy in a relationship, but he was doing all these things and saying all these things that would have given you the opposite impression, whilst he's admitting that he's in a relationship. And I'm aware that there are many guys like that. I see memes about it. I see girls talk about it so often, but it taught me not to entertain such kind of behavior. Now, I'll be blunt about this. I've seen and I've heard females talk about, a guy in a relationship who even posts their girlfriend and they're like,
yeah, they could be posting their girlfriend, but they're really sliding in my DMs.
Excuse me, I don't think that's something to place value on yourself over. Quite frankly, I find it very foolish to be proud of that. I really think that as a female especially, it's very important to stop that. And if you are also getting back on the dating scene, don't settle for that rubbish. Like, cut it off. There is no need. There's no need for you to entertain such kind of a person. And I think as a female, you should also understand the other female's predicament. I don't think you would like to be disrespected in that way. I personally would not want to be disrespected in that way. And so that's something that I couldn't entertain. And it's something I'm very proud of myself for not ever entertaining. So, yeah, it definitely taught me about guys like that. So, yeah. And also, like, certain experiences really are lessons. And I think it's one thing to keep saying, oh, I've had a lot of lessons in my life, and it's another thing to really implement those lessons going forward. And I think that's where many of us go wrong. We don't learn from certain things. And so, like, going forward, that experience definitely did teach me about what to look out for. Like, okay, so if I see such a thing, I know I don't need to entertain this any longer, than I probably did with Musa, even though it was for a short period. There's no need for me to wear my heart on a sleeve, even when I'm seeing these things beforehand. Not to say that that's what happened, but you get my drift. There is no reason. learn from the situations that you find yourself in. And also another thing that I learned from that situation is to be confident in myself and conduct myself as such. I think one of the things that happens when you experience a breakup, especially when another person hurts you, it really eats at your confidence. It takes away that self-esteem. And it's something that I think during your personal healing is important to build again. And make it, if not better than it was before. It's important such that even when you're ready to start dating again, it's something that you can practice. Don't go into dating, like you are some substandard individual, like not knowing your worth. Like, no. If somebody's behaving funny, put your foot down and say, oh, yeah, this is not my kind of thing. It's not what I'm going to tolerate. And yeah, that experience with Musa, it was a great way to implement that. Here's this guy who fit into the physical type that I like. I was attracted to him, and it seemed to have been reciprocated. And so it was nice while it lasted, like, oh yeah, but don't settle for that when a person is doing funny things. Have enough self-respect to not entertain that. But yeah, guys, that is all I had for you for now. Yeah. This topic is still something that I will potentially talk about in the future. Yes. So yeah, but this has been my story with Musa. This has been my first experience with getting back on the dating scene. So yeah, definitely look out for my next video. I will be posting another video in the next 2 weeks. As I had mentioned in my life update, I will post a video bi-weekly, so definitely look out for my videos. A great way to do that is to hit that notification bell so that you are informed every time I post a video. So don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, comment, share. I appreciate you guys so much, and I can't wait to talk to you guys once again. I hope you have a great week. Thanks, guys.